Grand Rapids Rock Alternative, 97.9 GRD. Here sitting in the studio, this is Ned the Metalhead, hanging out here with one of my personal favorite groups I have actually seen 4 times. Can't go wrong with that. That is Hellyeah. I'm sitting here with Tom Maxwell and the one and only Vinnie Paul as well, too. Brothers, how's it going, man?
Fantastic. Excellent. Excellent. Very good day.
You guys sounding tired or anything like that? You guys sound pretty tired.
Actually, we were tired. And we got 4 hours of sleep last night. We're doing good.
It's our release day today, so it's very exciting.
That's right, man. Band of Brothers is out today, being your 3rd album as a band. Your first being the self-titled Hellyeah, number 2 Stampede, and of course now Band of Brothers. It's your first album on 11/7 Music, which is the first 2 albums were on Epic Records. Now, why the change to the different labels?
Well, I think with our first 2 records, we didn't get into any long-term contracts, which was thank goodness about. But I think with our previous label, they kind of forgot and gave up on rock and roll, so it was a better situation for us to go and find a new home elsewhere. And 11/7 is primarily started and is all about rock and roll and metal music, and so we were very, very grateful to find a home that gets behind it. Behind that itself and the band as well.
That's what it's all about. It's all about rock and roll. It should always be about rock and roll.
It is, and that's kind of like what the Band of Brothers symbol is. It's our like little Call of Duty kind of pretty much. We've been doing this for a while together, and we are a Band of Brothers as well as a community, the hard rock, heavy metal community. It's a lifelong thing for the fans. Even for myself, I still listen to Zeppelin and Metallica. And that says a lot about the kind of people that follow metal and rock.
You guys, when you guys were starting the writing things of this album, you said that you're going back to your roots with the bands that you've either played in or have inspired you. Now, what got you in that mindset to kind of do that?
Just because of the fact that the first 2 records were so diverse and really different for us. We all at that time wanted to step outside of what we'd done in our previous bands and really do something different, and that's what Hellyeah started off to be, just really diverse and cover a lot of ground. And once we got that out of our system, we got together to write the 3rd record, and all of a sudden we looked at each other and said, hey, man, let's get back to our roots, man. Let's get back to what we do best. Let's make a metal record, man. And honestly, it's probably the record people expected from us from the very start. And, but we got those other 2 records under our belt. We love them. We're still playing this stuff all the time, and it goes down great live, but the new stuff is definitely much more aggressive, much more heavier, and like I said, much more what we think people probably expected from us.
Heck yeah, I definitely say it. When I listen to the newest single, Band of Brothers, which we're playing on air right now, that thing is tearing up beyond anything, man. I love it.
Thank you.
I definitely hear like a Mudvayne-esque. You get some Pantera, some Nothing Face. Everything is in there. You can just kind of hear it all, which is definitely comes out in that for sure, man.
Well, we can't escape who we are and where we came from, and I think we, like Vinnie said, our first record, we wrote that in 20 days. We've never been in a situation in a room writing music, and then with the second record, we kind of, took chances, went outside our comfort zone and outside the box, and wrote a little differently. But with this one, for me personally, it's kind of like our first album because we've developed ourselves over the past 5 years of being on the road together and playing countless shows and really becoming who we are. And we're like, let's just do what we do best and be what we are naturally and get back to who we are.
And that's where the heart is, man, when it comes to all heavy metal or anything like that. If you're not doing it for yourself and everything like that, the fans got to enjoy it. So, you got to enjoy it yourself in order for them to enjoy it too,
Yeah, that's what we did. We wrote for each other on this record. We conscious about what anybody was going to think. We didn't care about, no offense, but we didn't care about, radio or who was going to like it or not. We just wanted to write an honest record for each other, and here it is, man.
Now, you guys are currently on tour, if I'm correct, for just a little bit longer, right?
Yeah. We got a couple more shows with Volbeat, and then we go off for about a week on our own dates, and then we got a lot of touring to do after that. I wish we could tell you what's coming up next, but we got to let the good old announcers, promoters, and radio stations do that, and you'll be one of the first to know, and I'm sure you'll be blaring it, but playing right there in good old Grand Rapids is hard to beat.
I love that place, man. What's the Orbit Room, right?
Yeah, Orbit Room, and what's the
Intersection.
Yeah. No, you guys should be playing Van Andel Arena,
That's
man,
it,
by
Van
this
Andel.
point.
Art, I was close.
You know, with the new album being out, do you guys, while you're on the road, do you guys stop writing for a bit, or is it writing all the time? I mean, what do you guys kind of do on the road?
Well, a lot of drinking.
And
Blacktooth grins, right?
Oh, yeah. Black Tooth, White Tooth, Coors Light, Tommy's on the rum.
sweet tea vodka.
A little bit of everything. You know, we've never written music on the road, though. You know, you can gather ideas, but it's not a real writing environment, you know. And so I'm sure Tom and Greg have taken guitar riffs and, you know, taped them and recorded them and brought them to the table. And I know Chad's always writing stuff, and I keep up with ideas and stuff. But to really sit down and write almost impossible unless you really just want to set up a studio in the back of your bus and really spend that time on there, you know.
I mean, like just collecting riffs is one thing, but you know, it's after spending so much time, you know, making a record and then going out there and just touring and playing, you know, it's hard to find that, you know, inspiration on the road unless you accidentally kind of fall into a riff just by, you know, just sitting there fiddling around.
And you're always drinking too, so you're out there partying all the time, right?
Yeah, it happens.
You know, speaking of tours and stuff, Tom, you have a band out right now named Knives Out.
It's kind of just like a little project I did in between when we came off the first cycle. Actually, we had like some time off. I was getting really bored at home, and I just caught up with some friends and just got together and just recorded a bunch of songs, and then I went right back into Hellyeah mode and haven't stopped and looked back since. But, you know, those boys decided to kind of put together their own little indie label and just get it out there virally, and people seem to dig it. You know, it's just kind of something that just, you know, just kind of happened. It wasn't nothing like serious about it. It was just playing music with my buddies back home.
You know, and Vinnie, it's a pleasure to be talking to you. I've been listening to you for years, beyond anything, either starting from Cowboys from Hell all the way up to Hellyeah now. You know, I got to ask you, you know, first I'd like to relate with you. I, along with you, and I think the whole rest of the damn world, am a huge Kiss fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. You know, before I go into it, you know, I got to say, I got to respect, you know, there's been a lot of stuff going on around about like Zakk Wylde possibly taking over, yada, 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 and all that kind of stuff for a possible, you know, whatever reunion of Pantera, you know, and I always want to say, you know, no Dime, no Abbott Brothers, no Pantera. That's the way it goes, man, because Dime was along with your blood brother. He's my brother too, man. Before I go into it, do you still stand by the fact that a while ago you said if there was to ever be a Pantera reunion, Zakk Wylde would fill on guitars? That's still...
Well, see, there's a whole lot more that was said before that. It was on a station that I did an interview with in Dallas with Cindy, who's a really good friend of mine, and we were just talking about being down in Australia, and we had just done some shows with Hellyeah, also with Black Label while we were down there, and, you know, we'd done some hanging, and I think this, the bottom line is that, you know, Zack's a great friend of mine. Obviously, he was a really great friend of Dime's, but the truth of the matter is Dime was Pantera. You know, he was such a huge part of it, and I just think it would tarnish the legacy of the band and everything that he was all about to try to have somebody else get up there and play, man. And that's how I feel about it. I'm very, very proud and happy to be doing what I'm doing with Hellyeah, and that's called moving on in your life. You know, you got to move forward, and that's what I'm doing.
You know, as a fan, I'm sorry to interject here.
No, you go for it, dude.
You know, I have absolute respect for Zakk and all these other guitar players, but and as a fan of Pantera, you know, if I would have loved to have seen that happen again, but only, you know, nobody could fill those shoes. You know what I mean? It would not be the same, even as a, you know, for a fan. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't, man.
Get some kind of like maybe some kind of nostalgic thing out of it, but you're not getting Dime. You know, when that was, you know, pretty much, man. As a guitar player, that's when I went and saw them. That's what I wanted to see. Yeah,
man. Dime was. Words can't even describe it, and you guys know better than anyone. I mean, I can't describe it. You know. You know, and this is the big question I kind of had for you, Vinny. You know, I recently had an interview with a fellow bandmate of yours. That was Phil, about a month ago.
Right.
And I asked him if Pantera were to ever be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, would he be there knowing if you and Rex were there? And he did say that he would be there with the best intentions. Now, would you go if Pantera was to be inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame knowing that Phil and Rex were there?
Well, until that day comes along, I won't be able to answer that question for you.
Okay. No problem, man. No problem at all, dude. Real quick, before anything that the fans should know about upcoming Hellyeah or anything?
We're coming to a town near you sometime very, very soon, and we're looking forward to playing a lot of these new songs. pick up Band of Brothers. We
Yeah, go out
promise
and
you
get
won't be
that record.
disappointed.
Go out and get that record.
Best one we've ever made, and thanks for all the support, man. You guys have always been good to us.
That's right.
Hell yeah, man. I want to see you guys here at the Orbit Room at that tour. You damn well better promise me.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Can you guys just give me one good hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Thanks, Vinnie and Tom.
Yep.
Pleasure talking to you. Good luck on the rest of the record. Band of Brothers out today. Pick it up at your local record shop because you got to support local record shops,
That's
man.
right.
Come
Hell
on,
yeah.
right?
We're
All
dying
right.
breeds out there.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks, guys, so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, all right? And this is Ned for Grand Rapids Rock Alternative 97.9 GRD.